Welcome. The first video of 2020. Firstly, I'd like to hope that everyone had an excellent New Year's. Either that was family, friends, or just video gaming with the boys. Either way, let's get into the ramble video, which is quite an interesting thing, interesting topic I've got on my mind because soon Fantasy EHP is going to start in about 3 months' time. So I just thought, what a perfect time to make a video on competition. Give my thoughts and opinions. Firstly, before I start, this is all opinionated by my own, so I will understand that there is disagreements with what I have to say compared to your opinion, but that's what the comment section is for, or just moan at me in a voice call. I don't really mind, but yeah, this is my own thoughts and ideas, so don't get offended. It's only a competition and a video game at all. Anyways, firstly, I'd like to discuss what's the different types of competitions. What I mean by this is weeks, months, years, 48 to 72-hour competitions. These are like the main time frames, should I say, in the HLC community anyway, which is used to format a competition. I say personally the weekly ones are the most important or relevant ones. For example, the Solace one, the Omnia one, and also how you can argue Fantasy is a weekly formatted competition, but it's like a 2.5 month competition, and it's where mainly the most players are motivated to play because it's like a day is too short. People don't want to just stay awake for 30 hours or 72 hours, whatever concept you want to do. A week is perfect because you can sleep, and it also has a skill gap because obviously if you're able to gain more over 1-to-1 or 1-to-1, you can award yourself with maybe an extra hour sleep. If unlike gaining 0.8, 0.7, you have to sleep deprive yourself even more to catch up or be unbalanced to a different player who is gaining 1-to-1. Same can be said to months, but these comps aren't really incredibly competitive. For example, your team comps like a Solace Omnia comp has like all the clan in there, and then I say not all people are going for rank 1 in the month, so it's all about monitoring your own progress during the month in my personal opinion. But yeah, again, obviously I'd say five people maybe do try and get rank 1 in the month. Depends if there's any record setting. That's mainly what months comes to about, really, is a record setting. Well, that can be argued for weekly and 30 hours as well, and perhaps years. Well, records and comps go hand in hand, really. Like, you're more motivated to do a record doing a competition than a regular week, because obviously month's time requires way more planning as well, due to if you're going to do a month record, you'd want to be a NEET. In case if you don't know what a NEET is, it means not in education or employment or training. Same as week records, you basically have to have a week off, or because well, if you have a month off, you're either out of school, it's either summer break or whatever. You don't normally get a month off work unless you're ill. So, the formatting of the competition, what I mean by this is a draft or an auto team simulated by the leaders of the clan or whoever's hosting the competition. Just like jumble them up and you mixed in with other. But draft is mainly down to the people who are hosting it. Perhaps it's their opportunity to choose who they want on their team and who they believe. So it's a bit more strategy, a bit more interesting for the viewers at home, and people obviously compete in the comp because they want to see where they got picked in the comp. No one wants to be picked last. It's the same as anything. So it's always making sure what you can do. And if you normally picked in, say, bottom three, those players may be perhaps a bit more motivated. Depends who well, it's different for everyone. If I was picked nearer the bottom, I'd want to prove myself that I don't deserve to be a bottom pick. Therefore, I'll try and play more than I would. On the other hand, someone could be, oh, I picked at the bottom, I'm not going to play, and demotivated. The people clearly think I'm bad, and you clearly prove their point. Sorry if that flames anyone or offends anyone, but it's the truth. Now, should there be awards during competitions, such as the GP prize? Anyways, should awards be involved in competitions such as GP or cosmetics, etc., etc.? I personally think not, because it's, at the end of the day, award is your account progression, is the award of the week or month long. And the other argument is that there's no impact on losing in a competition. It's just you're sacrificing your account progress instead of, oh, we could have won 200 mil GP, for example. And what I think of this, people who are like, no, I don't care if we lose because there's nothing you win. I understand their viewpoint if they don't want to kill themselves for a week for a team with no award instead of bragging rights. I completely understand that, because at the end game it's their video game, they get to choose how they want to play. And if it's a draft, for example, the person who is drafting that player should be aware of what their mentality is. Or there's someone who, no matter what, just wants to play for the win, no matter if no reward. They're the kind of players you want on your team. But I've also witnessed in fantasy teams or other competitions that managers do award players to try and motivate them, such as buying them a pizza or something at the end of the week if they get over like 100 hours in a week or something. So it's like inside teamwork competition award, should we say, instead of just the actual award of the team of the winner is you win a pizza, for example. So there's all different ways of motivating players during a competition mindset. We'll ramble. Well, ramble? What am I saying ramble? My bad. Now let's talk about fantasy. Fantasy is probably seen as the most important comp to players. What I mean by that is because it's literally the biggest comp of the year in the RuneScape community. Well, for skillers anyways, because it's 2.5 months long competition, which is broke down into week comps against against a different team. There's 8 teams in total, usually, and every week you play against one of those teams, and over this regular season basis, if you don't have enough points or wins, you get knocked out and you won't make it to the playoffs. So the incentive there is to obviously win, because your team doesn't want to be, you don't want to be knocked out of the competition. Well, that's from my point of view. Some players be like, I don't want to play, I'll just flatline and be a troll on the team. And that is the negativity to the team, of course, because it will demotivate the rest of the team, and you probably will not make it to playoffs in that case. But yes, I do believe that fantasy is where the most players will try their hardest in, due to that reason only, because there is a loss essentially. You lose points, and it's like, best way to describe this is like, if apologize if you don't watch football. It's like the football league table, for example. You always play for the win because you want the points. If obviously you lose, you're in the bottom 3 and you could get relegated, essentially kicked out of the competition. So that is the loss, essentially, the L, you should say. On the other hand, is it bad for players to rely on these competitions to stay motivated? In my opinion, no, and that's because I need those competitions because otherwise I'll just I'm just a lazy player. Otherwise, like I will not try and kill myself just for another week, a normal week just playing RuneScape. In a competition, I'm like, I want to play for the boys. Obviously, I haven't done that all the time because obviously people are burnt, and I did that during the Omni Camp. I did like 55, so it's a bit hypocritical me saying I'd play for the boys when I clearly didn't. But we won that camp anyway, so I was like, I might as well be a bit of a not a team player, should we say, and just sleep more and do other things. Which is obviously it's dead. Mindset's a different thing. Motivation creates your mindset, in my opinion, for a competition. Because it's what you see, what is relevant. I didn't really care for the Omni Camp, therefore I didn't really try. But if in fantasy I'm picked on a team. Well, this time I'm being a manager of a competition of my team. So it's like I'm playing for myself, and I want to play for. Hopefully, I want my players to play for me and Puff, because Puff is my current manager. So yeah, but I understand why people get annoyed at people who don't play all year round and only play for fantasy. For example, people just like, I don't want to call out names, but there's people with low HP accounts who never log in unless it's fantasy, and they do really big weeks, and it is annoying. It's frustrating because it's like you're storing your energy for the whole year in the cringiest way, but at the end of the day, it's just cringe. Like you don't care about this game. You're gonna do weird, weird, unethical methods to get you the win. But then again, it's their mindset to win that competition no matter what. And they don't care about their account progression, should we say? Because once the competition's over, they never log in again. And this is why I thought first I needed another player or someone else to join me on this ramble video. But honestly, I didn't want to bother anyone and message and be like, hey, do you want to come on this podcast? Because not podcast, ramble video, because I thought it'd be kind of cringe. But these are my initial thoughts. I know I didn't go to detail much. I've done this like 4 times now. So if you hear this, congratulations. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this ramble video. I'm a monotone, amazing voice. And I will have another video out soon, which is not RuneScape related. So if you're not into that, I apologise. But thank you very much for listening, and good luck in your future competitions and fantasy, and your RuneScape goals entirely throughout 2020. Peace out.